Sagittarius, take a moment and really listen. Because as the sun prepares to touch your energy field, Jupiter, the planet of fortune, is opening a doorway that only you can see. And on Sunday, the 9th, a message will arrive strong enough to make your heart tremble, yet sacred enough to change the entire direction of your life. This isn't coincidence. This is the moment the universe chooses you, chooses to wake you from silence, chooses to show you that you are worthy of something far greater than anyone ever imagined. I promise, by the end of this message, you'll understand why what seems like a shock is actually the sign of a blessing. And if your heart is already vibrating right now, write this down. I am ready to embrace my great destiny. Because when you write it, your energy shifts and the universe begins to respond. Sagittarius, the 9th is calling your name. But the question is, do you have the courage to open that door? Don't answer yet. Because sometimes, destiny's door doesn't open with your hands. It opens with a heart that's ready to believe. So now, let me tell you what's really happening among the stars. Sagittarius, as Jupiter, your ruling planet, forms a rare trine with Saturn, the entire field of the universe slides gently through the cracks in your heart. Those cracks are not weakness. They are the slivers of light where the dawn of your soul seeps in. This month, the energy is no longer a storm. It's the call of maturity. It's like the moment the rain stops and you realize the ground beneath you is still warm. Nothing has ended. Everything is simply transforming to lift you to a higher state of awareness. After so many upheavals, after so many shocks that once felt like punishment, you'll see they were sacred training. Saturn tests your faith. Jupiter rewards it. And when these two merge within your chart, it means a new life is about to unfold. But let me say this with the deepest respect. Not everyone is ready for the gift the universe gives at this time. Why? Because this gift isn't wrapped in shiny silver paper. It's wrapped in contradiction, in news that might make your heart tighten, in tears you can't tell are from pain or release. As the moon enters Aquarius, your 3rd house, the realm of messages, communication, and the sharing of truth, lights up. The 3rd house is where words become destiny, where a single conversation can turn the course of a soul. On Sunday the 9th, a message will find you not through luck, but through divine synchronicity. It could be a text that seems random, an unexpected glance that makes your heart race, a sudden opportunity, a strange invitation, a decision you didn't see coming. Don't judge it too quickly. Because when Jupiter's energy intertwines with the Aquarian moon, what seems illogical is often exactly what your spirit needs to grow. Astrologically, this is an unlocking point. It's like the moment a climber realizes they've reached the cloud line. There's no way back, only upward. For Sagittarius, this is when your intuition, that sacred compass given by God, becomes clearer than ever before. Everything you once doubted begins to make sense. Every fear that once held you back is now illuminated by truth. And that is the first gift of the universe. Not money, not praise, but understanding. Because Sagittarius doesn't live to possess, you live to perceive. I've always believed that inside every Sagittarius there are two halves. One is the curious child, always asking, "Why is life like this?" The other is the sage, quietly answering with light. And right now, those two halves are meeting. The event of the 9th isn't just a shocking revelation. It's the threshold where you stop asking, "Why did this happen to me?" and start asking, "What is this trying to teach me?" I've read many star charts, but none of Sagittarius has ever glowed as brightly as now, because Jupiter, the planet of faith, is back in its seat of power. It's like a lighthouse cutting through the fog, helping you see your old wounds under a new light. And sometimes, the universe doesn't send gifts in golden boxes. It wraps them inside explosions. What you call bad news is often light, disguised in darkness. Only the brave can see it. Think back to the times you thought you lost everything, and in that very moment, you found yourself again. Jupiter is teaching you the same lesson now. Everything that falls apart only clears the way for something higher to be born. In life, we often chase praise, achievements, and the next shining thing, and forget that our true worth isn't in what we have, but in what we keep when everything else falls away. And Sagittarius, you've kept the most important thing of all, faith. Faith that life, no matter how chaotic, still moves by divine order. Faith that goodness may not come early, but it always comes on time. Faith that the light never truly fades. It only waits for you to turn and see it again. That's why you're the one chosen to hear this message, because you've walked through enough darkness to understand the value of light. When Saturn stands beside Jupiter, it's not punishment. It's a whisper that says, "Be disciplined with your faith." Faith isn't about waiting for miracles. It's about moving, as if the miracle has already arrived. Remember, Sagittarius is the sign of truth. When you live in truth, no lie can hold you. The message that's coming isn't meant to scare you. It's meant to remind you you no longer need to run from yourself. Stop trying to control everything, because what belongs to you will always find its way back, even if the entire universe seems to stand in your way. Let me share something personal, not from books, but from experience. The things that break us are never our enemies. They are our tests. The shocking news that shakes us isn't sent to destroy, but to awaken. And if you look through the eyes of the soul, you'll see God doesn't test you to frighten you. He tests you to show you just how strong you truly are. Sagittarius, have you ever noticed that somehow you're always saved at the very last minute? No matter how many times you fall, something unseen lifts you back up. That's Jupiter, your inner teacher, the planet of faith and fortune. Every time you choose faith over fear, forgiveness over anger, movement over stagnation, you activate your own blessing. And this time is no different. On the 9th, every shock will become a key. Every tear, a seed. So pause for a moment, take a deep breath, and feel the energy inside your chest, the fire of Sagittarius still flickering. That fire isn't here to fight the world. It's here to light your way out of the fog. I know sometimes you feel like you have to be strong all alone. You laugh when your heart is trembling. You keep walking even when your knees shake. But don't forget, you are never alone. Every time you look up at the night sky, the light you see isn't just from stars, it's from the prayers of your own soul, whispered lifetimes ago, and they are answering you now. You are being guided. You are on the right path, and whatever news is coming, it cannot hurt you. Not when you choose to see it through awakened eyes. If this message feels like it's speaking directly to you, write in the comments, "I believe every event carries a divine reason." Because when you write it, you're not just declaring your faith, you're sending a ripple of hope into the hearts of thousands who are listening to this message alongside you right now. But, Sagittarius, this message doesn't come alone. It's being carried by someone. A soul who once touched your life, even if only for a brief, unforgettable moment. That person is returning, not to reopen the wound, but to hand you the final piece of your destiny's puzzle. In the next part, we'll go deeper to understand who is bringing this message and why they appear now, precisely when Jupiter opens the gates of heaven above you. Sagittarius. As Mars begins to activate your 7th house, the realm of relationships, partners, and souls tied deeply to you, a subtle wave of energy stirs old memories. You might not notice it at first, but lately a faint intuition has brushed against you, like a soft wind whispering, "Someone is thinking of you." It could be someone you once loved with everything you had, someone you trusted, fought, released, or perhaps someone you thought you'd forgotten. But in astrology, there is no true forgetting, only threads of energy left untied. And when Mars, the planet of action and soul memory, touches your 7th house, those threads begin to tremble once more. This is the moment when the past comes back, not to disturb your peace, but to complete an unfinished symphony, an energetic chapter that needs to close, so you can step into the next one. So if, on the 9th, you receive a message, a call, or a piece of news that makes your heart tighten for a moment, don't be afraid. It isn't punishment. It's a sign of release. Imagine this. In the journey of the soul, every person you've ever met carries a fragment apiece meant to illuminate the parts of yourself you've never seen. The one who comes with love teaches you faith. The one who betrays you teaches endurance. The one who leaves teaches you how to walk alone. And the one who returns as now teaches you how to let go, gently. Mars in the 7th house is not the fire of war. It's the torch that reveals what bonds are true, who is meant to walk beside you, and who was only meant to walk with you for a while. Sagittarius, there's something you should know. The people of the past don't return to love you the same way. They return so you can see you're no longer the same. You no longer tremble under that familiar gaze. You no longer search for answers in someone else's eyes, because now you are the answer. The one who brings this shocking news is actually a messenger of truth, a quiet angel in disguise. They may have hurt you once. They may have forced you to learn self-love in the silence of loneliness. But they're not here to reopen the wound. They're here to show you how beautifully it has healed. They've come so you can witness your own strength, so you can finally speak the words your soul has kept buried. And most of all, they've come to free you from the old version of yourself, from an outdated image, from fear. Because forgiveness doesn't mean agreeing with the pain, it means refusing to let it rule you any longer. Truth can hurt, but it's the only thing that can free us from pretending to live. If we keep running from it, our heart becomes a locked room. No light can enter. So let your heart open. Listen not with fear, but with compassion. Because when you truly listen, you can even hear the apology of destiny itself. Some relationships are not meant to stay. They come so we can see ourselves more clearly, to learn how to love without holding on, to give without expecting return. And for Sagittarius, the sign of freedom and truth, that lesson is sacred. Look up at the night sky, where Mars burns red, moving slowly through your 7th house. It doesn't want you to be afraid. It wants you to be brave. Brave enough to look back with gratitude. Brave enough to smile at memories that once made you cry. Brave enough to admit that sometimes the greatest form of love is not holding on, but letting go, so both souls can be free. I believe every soul signs a sacred contract before coming to Earth. And the person returning to you, whether through words, a message, or simply a memory resurfacing, is one of those souls. They agreed to appear in your life at this exact moment to help you complete a great lesson. They're not a villain. They're not a savior. They're a mirror reflecting how far you've grown. And when you understand that, you no longer feel anger. You no longer need to ask, why? You simply smile and whisper softly, "Thank you for coming back, so I could see how much I've changed." You cannot change what others did, but you can choose how your heart responds. You can choose to love without suffering, to remember without pain, to say goodbye without breaking. And that very moment when you stand between your past and your present and still choose peace is the moment you truly win. Sagittarius, you were born with the heart of a traveler. You were never meant to stay in one memory forever. You came here to explore, to forgive, to keep walking forward with light in your hands. On the 9th, there may come news that makes your throat tighten, that catches your breath. But right after that first wave of emotion, you'll feel something strange, as if someone is lifting an invisible weight off your shoulders, a burden you didn't even know you were carrying. You'll feel lighter. You'll breathe easier. And in the quiet of your heart, you'll hear a silent sentence echoing softly, "Finally, I am free." That's exactly what Mars is doing for you right now, breaking the invisible chains so you can rise in your own strength. No longer driven by memories, no longer repeating old patterns. You become the author of your own story. When someone from the past returns, to be grateful, whether they bring good news or bad, because they are a messenger of transformation. Every word they speak helps you see another facet of yourself. And sometimes, the universe sends them only for a few minutes, just to say the one sentence your soul has needed to hear for years. Then they leave. But what remains is peace. If, as you listen to this, a name or a face quietly rises in your heart, perhaps that's exactly who the universe is speaking about. Don't go searching. Don't be afraid. Simply whisper to yourself, "I forgive. I am grateful. I am free." Because those words don't just release them, they release you. If you've ever lived through a moment when bad news opened the door to an entirely new life, or you feel that someone from the past might be finding their way back to you, write in the comments, "I am ready to receive the truth with a peaceful heart." When you write those words, the energy of acceptance begins to move through you, and that's when the clues, universe starts preparing the real reward. As Mars travels through your 7th house, it also lights up your first, the house of self. That means every encounter from now on, no matter how unexpected, will reveal how much you've changed. You're no longer the same person. You react differently, speak differently, feel differently. And that is proof of your growth. You might receive an apology. You might hear a truth that was once hidden, or maybe you'll simply notice that you no longer feel angry. Whatever form it takes, it's all good news. Because real peace doesn't arrive when everything is calm, it arrives when you no longer need everything to be calm. But Sagittarius, don't think this journey ends with confronting someone. Because the true shock isn't about that person at all. It lies in the gift the universe is about to place in your hands, the reward for a soul that forgives, learns, and chooses to love through light instead of fear. In the next part, we'll talk about the reward after the shock, the blessing waiting at the end of this road. A door is opening, and behind it may be the very thing you once prayed for, but never truly believed could be real. If this message touches your heart, write these words: "I am opening my heart to receive the miracle." Because the moment you do, the energy of Jupiter, your guardian planet, begins to awaken. And everything you've ever prayed for will start finding its way to you. Sagittarius, if these past days have felt like the world quietly turned a new page, if your heart still trembles from what happened, yet deep inside there's a strange calm that's the first sign of the universe's reward. In astrology, when Venus, the planet of love, value, and blessing, enters your 10th house, the house of career, recognition, and divine purpose, it marks the time when your silent efforts finally begin to bloom. Jupiter, your celestial protector, now forms a harmonious angle with Venus, an opening through which blessings that once felt lost begin to find their way home. The effect of Jupiter and Venus together is like sunlight breaking through the rain. Before it, there were tears. After it, a rainbow. You've already walked through the lessons of the 7th house. You've faced your own reflection in the mirror. And now, Jupiter says, "Well done. Now step into the world." The 10th house is the realm of recognition, where the universe rewards those who dared to live honestly. If lately you've felt forgotten, misunderstood, or forced to start again from zero, this is the time when an unexpected opportunity will appear, a doorway for your light to be seen. It could be an invitation, a collaboration, a new project, or simply a kind word spoken at the perfect time. With Venus in the 10th house, every effort born from sincerity is transformed into a tangible blessing. The universe has a quiet rule. When your heart no longer trembles with fear, everything meant for you will find its way. Before blessing you, it always tests you. And the shock you just endured was a test of faith. Many lose their faith when crisis comes. But you, Sagittarius, you chose to believe that behind pain, there's purpose. And that choice, not any prayer or ritual, is what activated your blessing. You've proven that your faith isn't tied to circumstance, but to the light that burns within you. That's why the reward that's coming will make you smile. It won't be loud or dazzling at first, but it will be lasting and sacred. No one grows inside the comfort zone. The strongest souls always pass through tremors before they are lifted. The shock didn't come to punish you, it came to filter your frequency. It asked you, will you still believe when everything falls apart? And you answered, yes. From that very moment, the universe began rearranging everything. Those who need to leave will leave. Old doors will close, and a new path, one that only maturity can open, begins to unfold. So the reward isn't just money or success, it's vision. You'll begin to see life differently, lighter, clearer, softer. And as that energy expands, the world around you begins to change color too. When Sagittarius reaches that steadiness, you're no longer a wanderer searching for the way. You become the way. Because you understand the pain of the lost, you know how to hold their hands through the dark just as you once held your own. The world needs souls like you, those who teach not with words, but with presence. Just walk with sincerity, and others will feel it. That's when your true mission begins. Close your eyes for a moment. Take a deep breath, and remember who you were just a few months ago, still struggling, doubting, afraid. Now, you've changed. You're calmer when bad news comes. You're gentler when something ends. You're braver when something begins again. That is the real reward. When Venus and Jupiter move together, the universe whispers to you, I've seen your endurance. Now receive your blessing. Sometimes, the sign will be small. A stranger's smile, a sudden amount of money, a door opening right on time. Don't overlook it. That's how the universe says, I'm here. When your heart no longer fears, everything meant for you finds you. You've walked out of fear and into faith. You no longer ask, when will I receive? You simply say, I trust that I'm being guided. And that trust is what opens the path to miracles. The Jupiter effect is opening doors of opportunity, a new job, a connection, or an invitation that feels like being born again. Sagittarius, sometimes the reward isn't in what you get, but in who you've become through it all. Because in the storm, you never lost your faith. In the dark, you kept your fire. And now, that fire doesn't just light your path, it lights the hearts of those watching you from afar. If you've ever faced a crisis and discovered strength you didn't know you had, write this in the comments. I stood up, and I am shining. When you say it out loud, your frequency changes. And that light will find others who need hope, just as your light once guided you through your own night. If peace fills your heart as you listen now, that's your soul's way of telling the universe, I'm ready to step into the next chapter of my destiny. And then, Sagittarius, as your light begins to spread, something beautiful happens. The shocking news you once feared becomes nothing more than a stepping stone. A step toward a sacred invitation, a call from destiny, from a soulmate, or from the very path you were born to walk. In the next chapter, we'll open that door, the door that leads to the universe's invitation and to the true rise of Sagittarius. Because this journey is far from over, and once light has been awakened, it never fades again. Sagittarius, as I look into your star chart right now, I see the constellations weaving a spiral of radiant light. Neptune and Uranus, the planets of intuition and awakening, are both activating the axis between the 9th and 12th houses, the realms of vision, faith, and timeless spirit. That means one thing. You are being called by the universe, not to a material banquet, but to a sacred pilgrimage of the soul. It's an invitation to return to your truest self, the one no longer bound by fear, by judgment, or by the past, but born to become the guiding light for yourself and for the world. Have you ever felt, in the stillness of midnight, a mysterious pull in your chest? Not anxiety, but a whisper from somewhere far away, saying, "Rise, it's time to remember who you are"? That is the call of the universe. Not everyone hears it. Only the souls who've walked through their deepest storms, who've been washed clean by tears, become quiet enough to hear its voice. And you, Sagittarius, you're ready. Neptune, the planet of compassion and illusion, is melting away the veils that once covered your heart. Uranus, the planet of liberation and awakening, is breaking through the limits you once believed were permanent, the quiet idea that whispered, "Maybe this is as far as I can go." Now, these two forces are blending together, opening a portal between consciousness and soul, where everything that once seemed uncertain finally makes sense. The universe is no longer whispering. It's calling your name out loud. I believe nothing in life is meaningless. Even the greatest shock, the moment that broke your heart open, was simply a test of faith. Would you still believe in your own light when everything you knew was falling apart? Sagittarius was born to believe. That is your gift and your mission. Your faith isn't naive. It's been wounded, betrayed, tested to its edge. But because of that, it's become your truest compass. For real, faith doesn't come from the mind. It comes from the deepest chamber of the soul, the place where you once fell to your knees and still chose to rise, still chose to love, still chose to keep going. Now, As Neptune moves through your 12th house, the realm of soul memory, you begin to feel a quiet shift within yourself. The things that once made you anxious don't seem so important anymore. You start choosing peace over being right, love over winning, and that, Sagittarius, is the unmistakable sign of a soul that has matured. Your reward now isn't something others can see. It's the lightness in your chest, the soft calm in your heart. You begin to understand something profound. Not everyone has to understand you. Not everyone is meant to walk beside you. You just need to walk in the right direction. The universe didn't choose you because you're perfect. It chose you because you have a rare kind of courage, the courage to believe amid doubt, to love amid fear. Sagittarius is the sign of wisdom and light. You were born to guide not through preaching, but through living. Every time you forgive, the world learns a little more compassion. Every time you speak your truth, the world learns a little more courage. Every time you choose love instead of bitterness, the world becomes a little brighter. And that is how the universe works. No one needs to be perfect to inspire others. You just have to be real. And the universe will use that truth to awaken those who are ready to remember their own. In a world full of doubt, those who still dare to believe are the ones who build miracles. When you keep your fire burning in the middle of a storm, you become the torch for those who are cold. And that, Sagittarius, is your role now. You are the one who carries the flame, the one who stands in the storm and still says, "I believe everything happens for a divine reason," because you know, God never takes anything away without giving something better in return. Sometimes, bad news is simply the rough language of a miracle. There's an ancient story about the very first nomad of Sagittarius. When the world was covered in darkness, he was given a single flaming arrow and a mission. Shoot it into the sky, so every lost soul can find the way home. He crossed deserts. He walked through storms. He endured hunger and thirst. The flame on his arrow began to fade, but his heart never did. And in the moment he fell to his knees, he lifted his head one last time and fired the arrow into the heavens. That light fell back to earth, and from that moment, humanity knew what dawn was. That story, Sagittarius, is you. Every time you choose to believe, you shoot another arrow of hope into someone else's sky. Uranus is now stirring your 9th house, the realm of vision, philosophy, and purpose. It's telling you, it's time to share your light. You can begin with the smallest of acts, a kind word, a gentle post, a project born from love, a simple act of compassion. Because right now, everything you do from the heart creates a ripple far beyond what you can see. The world is starving for light, and you, Sagittarius, are one of the chosen ones to carry it. Ask yourself, quietly, am I living as a torch, or am I afraid of my own light? If that question brings a lump to your throat, it's okay. Your soul only needs one tear to wash away the dust of the road. And when that tear falls, you'll feel it something miraculous beginning to grow. not outside, but within. Because awakening always begins in silence. You've asked before, why do good people face so many trials? The answer is simple. Because they are strong enough to turn trials into light for others. You've asked, why must I let go when my love was so true? Because real love doesn't hold you captive, it sets you free. You've asked, why must I always be strong? Because the world needs to see you someone who can ache and still be beautiful, fall and still rise, cry and still smile. And that, Sagittarius, is the definition of light. Now, as you listen to these words, place your hand over your heart. Feel that rhythm, the heartbeat of faith, the pulse of an immortal soul that has walked through storms and still loves the world anyway. You don't have to do anything to deserve your blessings. You've been worthy since the moment you chose to live with an open heart. And if you feel that truth, write in the comments, I believe everything happens for a divine reason. Because when you write it, you send a signal to the universe itself that you're ready. Ready for guidance, ready for miracles, ready for peace. Sometimes the universe speaks in thunder, so we'll finally listen. Sometimes it corners us, so we'll remember we have wings. And sometimes it takes everything away just so we can realize we were the miracle all along. When the dust settles, you'll see the universe never wanted to scare you. It only wanted to bring you home. Home to the place where you truly belong. Not on the mountaintop of fame. Not in the eyes of others. But deep within your heart, where peace lives and the light never fades. And when you stand there between light and shadow, between the old and the new, you'll hear the familiar voice of your soul whispering, you are ready. Ready to close one cycle, ready to begin another. A journey where you are no longer the seeker of miracles, but the creator of them. Sagittarius, you are the living proof of the Sagittarius, universe's greatest truth, that light never loses to darkness, and faith, once awakened, can change the whole world. If these words reach your heart, write this down. I am ready to return to my own light, because the moment you do, your new journey truly begins. Sagittarius, if you're still here, listening to these last moments, know this, it's not a coincidence. No one reaches the end of a message like this unless destiny led them here. It means you have completed a soul cycle, and now you stand right before the doorway of a brand new destiny. Take a deep breath, feel your chest open, and let these words flow through you like the light of early morning. Sagittarius, do not fear what is coming on the 9th. That's what the universe says, not to comfort you, but to remind you that fear is only the doorway through which faith must walk. What's coming is not punishment, it's baptism for your soul. The rain of the 9th may soak your shoulders, but when it clears, the sun will rise exactly over your path, because only after the rain can the arrow of Sagittarius fly farther than ever before. Everything you've just lived, the losses, the shocks, the sudden truths, were never the end. They were the launching ground for your arrow to pierce the light itself. And when you look back, you'll realize everything that once made you fall was simply the universe bending down to lift you higher. You might feel strange now, the world around you suddenly quiet. No more noise, no more drama, no more of the old faces or the stories you once thought were vital. That's because you've walked through a gate that others haven't reached yet. The universe is moving you into a new energetic dimension, a space where you don't need to prove anything, don't need to hide from anything. You only need to be. You don't have to be strong all the time. You don't have to pretend. You're okay. Just breathe and let your heart soften. You'll start to hear a new rhythm, gentler, brighter, freer. That is the sound of your soul coming home. The 9th is not the day of ending. It's the day of cleansing, the day when old energy dissolves so the light of truth can finally shine through. And for Sagittarius, your soul never walks through anything meaningless. Every challenge is a lesson written in light. Every tear, a seed of wisdom. The more life pulls you backward, the further your arrow will fly when the divine moment arrives. That's your sacred law, the law of the one chosen to guide others with light. Sagittarius was born to lead with faith. Even when the world shakes, you remain the keeper of fire. Even when people walk away, you still believe in the good in humanity. Even when you fall, you keep your eyes on the sun. That's why the universe tests you more fiercely than others, because it knows you're strong enough to turn adversity into miracles. Every scar you carry doesn't make you less beautiful. They are sacred markings, proof that you have loved, believed, and lived with your whole heart. And that is what makes you shine. If you look up at the sky right now, you might notice something strange, the constellation of Sagittarius glowing brighter than usual. Because the universe knows you've passed the test. And like every warrior of light, your reward is not perfection, but peace. So exhale softly and know that from this moment on, you no longer have to fight yourself. You only need to live, love, believe, and radiate. If you feel something quietly moving inside your chest, as if a current of light were opening within you, that's the sign your soul is ready to receive its blessing. If this message touches your heart, press like as a sign of agreement with the light. It's not just a tap on the screen, it's a confirmation to the universe that you are ready. Share this video as a way of planting seeds of light so that faith can reach those who need it most. And if you feel your heart opening as you listen, write in the comments, "I am ready to embrace my great destiny." Because when you speak those words, you're not just telling the world, you're activating a sacred frequency within yourself. And once that truth is spoken, the universe listens. The doors you once thought were sealed shut begin to open. Sagittarius, if you've ever felt that you've lost too much, remember this. The universe never takes anything away without giving you something better in return. Sometimes, bad news is simply the rough language of a miracle, because behind every shock, there's a gentle truth waiting for you. After every fall, there is an invisible hand lifting you back up, sometimes the hand of someone unexpected, and sometimes your own. in a new form. And on the day you truly forgive others, and forgive yourself, that's the day the light within you returns, radiant and pure as it once was. This journey isn't over, because after every closed door, there's always another sacred invitation waiting to appear. And what surprises most Sagittarians is the person who arrives after the shock. This person doesn't come to test you anymore, but to walk beside you. Not to bring pain, but to heal with you. In the next video, we'll speak about that person, the mirror soul of destiny, the one who could change your entire journey this November. They're not arriving by chance. They are the reward your love and faith have called forth. Before you go, close your eyes for a moment and whisper softly, "I am loved. I am safe. I have completed one cycle, and I am stepping into my divine destiny." Let that sentence echo inside you. Because it isn't just words, it's a frequency of awakening. When you release that vibration, the universe will respond in the warmth of a passing wind, in a small coincidence, in a stranger's smile, in a simple miracle you'll soon recognize. Sagittarius, thank you for staying until the very end of this journey. Thank you for not giving up, for believing, for choosing light in a world that often forgets it exists. Now, take one last deep breath. Feel how you're no longer who you were. You are the reborn version of yourself, lighter, brighter, freer, and endlessly loved by the universe. If your heart is humming with a warm, peaceful feeling, that's healing energy flowing through you. And remember, every time you share this light, the world becomes a little brighter. Because light begins with you. And the journey has only just begun.